Why do you think Miriam Carey was killed?
I have no idea. And probably the government can't answer that question either. Let Eric Holder and maybe President Obama, they said we like transparency, we like full disclosure. Well, let's have some in this case.
Can you tell us why you think they haven't done that and why the police report, the final investigative report, has not been released?
Because the data doesn't support them. I said from the very beginning, actually I tempered my thoughts and my comments when I first met you. I remember you did this interview, and I didn't want to see anybody as a Keystone cop, so they don't know what they're doing. But quite frankly, they supported what I said from the very beginning. They're unprofessional, poorly trained, poor discipline. And now we know something else from the hearings the other day. They have an alcohol problem in the Secret Service.
So do you think that if they'd done their job properly, there never would have been a chase?
If they did their job properly, she never would have got past the booth. Like I said from the beginning, this city is designed by Lafont. Lafont, France, you see there's a lot of turnabouts, people get lost, and it's ironic that people come here today and even their cab drivers are lost. People drive here every day for a living. So why is it beyond the realm of possibilities that someone from outside, from New York or Connecticut, could get lost? They didn't even consider that. But now I tell your viewers and your listeners to go back and look at the actual pictures, and you see something that really stands out. The man with the cooler. Think about cooler, drink, cooler, drink, cooler, drink. Secret Service, drinking problem. We know that already. That's why Obama had to send a team back from Colombia. They were drinking and hanging out with, ladies of the evening, as we used to call them in law enforcement.
So you think they're not releasing the video or the material because it would prove embarrassing to them? Have they ever, has any official ever expressed any condolences or an explanation to a family member or to you?
Absolutely not. No condolences, but of course they won't release it because it doesn't support their position.
And you asked for you've asked for a congressional hearing. You also asked for a Department of Justice investigation. And what response did you get?
Crickets. I know I'm a plain talking attorney, but this is the way I operate. I mean, I could be politically correct, but this case should make everyone upset because Miriam's civil rights, her constitutional rights are trampled upon like she's not even a citizen here. And we need to do better. We need to hold officials accountable.
Do you think that justice will be done for Miriam?
Oh, it's going to be done because eventually we're not going to stop until we get to it. And so far, if you believe in philosophy, all the ducks are lining up for us. Now we find about the Secret Service, and to some people are surprised. I mean, us who know law enforcement know that law enforcement people lie all the time. But now it's all coming out now.
You filed a lawsuit. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the only thing we filed so far is a claim. In order to sue the federal government, because the way the statute reads, they exempt themselves from lawsuits, you have to file what's called a federal tort claim. That gives them a statutory 6-month period to investigate your claims and decide if they want to settle them. In this case, we sent them to the Capitol Police as well as the Secret Service because those are the two responding agencies that discharge their weapons.
What have you not been able to learn specifically that they haven't told you that you would like to know?
Well, who discharged their weapons, under what circumstance they discharged their weapon, what statement, if any, did they give. We also want to know whether or not the officers that discharged their weapon were alcohol tested. Do they have a policy in such a place? Whether they have a policy that allows you to chase vehicles in this, District of Columbia and shoot at moving vehicles. And we want to see all the video and stills as well as a mobile digital terminal. Now, I remember when I first met you, I talked about mobile digital terminals, and it came to fruition in this case out in Albuquerque. I don't know if you remember, there was a gentleman on the side of the mountain, and the police officer shot him when he was coming down. Well, recently they found on the mobile digital terminals in the car, the police officer shot him, sent a message to the other police officer, say, hey, watch this, I'm gonna shoot this guy in the penis. Well, sure enough, who you think discharged a weapon? The same guy who sent that message out, and they killed the guy. So, that's why the computers and all this data that they do have is important for this case.
The information is there. You believe it's a cover-up?
Oh, no doubt about it. It's a cover-up. And, hey, Congress is not talking about it, are they? They were clapping, too busy clapping. We killed a terrorist. You didn't kill a terrorist. You killed your constituent.
We contacted more than 100 members of Congress for comment and got no response. What do you think it'll take for Congress to do something about this?
Well, hopefully maybe they saw Miss Carey today and see that she's a constituent, 69 years old, and maybe that might mean something to them because we're all in the same age range. Some of the congresspersons, they have grandchildren, they have daughters, they have sons, and maybe that might strike a nerve to that it's important that she's really a person, not just some case. Maybe.
It was a moving ceremony today. What else are you hoping that comes from it?
Well, we're hoping to raise people awareness that, now that all this, the Secret Service debacle has come out now, that maybe people take a fresh look and say, wait a minute, if they lied about that and they lied about Obama, then why wouldn't they lie about Miriam Carey? I mean, just common sense. I mean, after all, they killed someone. It's not like this was an intruder and they bumped into the door. This is someone that's killed. So you know they're going to try to justify what they did. And what they said made no sense anyway.
Eric Sanders, attorney for the Carey family, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time and your listeners, and for especially WND, who's been on top of this from the very beginning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Best of luck.